Welcome back, Eternal Dragon here with my latest build, John Wick, a Sporewarden Spellshot, and guess what guys, we have the ability to fire some of our guns infinitely. That's right, Moe's style ammo regen. We have it here on John Wick, so let's take a look. First of all, we'll take a rundown through the gear. We have a Nightshade of the Peak. This one is for if you really need to do a fast ammo dump, just kill something really quick. Huge ammo dump there on spellcast, increased frost damage. You're going to see that that kind of carries through on each of the weapons. You cannot yet enchant a donkey, but guess what? We have a volatile ×2, and this thing does work. With its special ability of increasing damage 5% for each saw blade stuck in a target, and that's any type of damage, you can actually sneak in some spell casts that you can get insanely amped damage with just by sticking a whole bunch of saw blades into an enemy, not to mention that the saw blades themselves do a lot of work. We have a Perceiver of the Peak in slot 3. John Wick can't leave home without his trusty pistol, and this gun just does a crazy amount of damage if you remember to set it to the semi-automatic. That's right, you switch it on over to your secondary fire, and you'll find that when you're using it in this mode, it crits randomly all on its own, and if you happen to hit a crit while it's random crit proccing, you'll get a ×4 crit, and it'll do huge damage. Down in the last slot, we have a Wizard's Pipe. This is another one of the guns along with the donkey. And, you know, essentially the Perceiver of the Peak. I mean, like, you can run out of ammo, but you can pretty much fire it infinitely. And then this one here, you can definitely fire infinitely. This is the Wizard's Pipe, and this thing is fantastic. It just got a buff. I did a little video on it. I love this gun now. It does crazy good damage on its own, fires super duper fast. And then its special ability is it creates these little additional projectiles that change to the weakness, the elemental weakness of whatever enemy that you're currently shooting at. Crazy awesome weapon, especially when you're firing it with infinite ammunition. So then moving over to our melee weapon, we have a Twin Soul of the Assassin with Amped and Echo. The melee weapon itself doesn't really matter. I just grabbed one that was fun to boot people with, and what with John Wick being an assassin, we have an assassin weapon. We have it here enchanted with gun damage on spellcast, increase it by 30% for 10 seconds. And then, like I pointed out before, as you see, this is just on spellcast increase elemental, on spellcast increase frost, and then we can't enchant this here. So as you can see, everything's triggering every time you cast a spell, of which we will have 2, as this is an ambidextrous build. Moving over to the rings, we have this fantastic one, a Volatile Shark's Bane 39.4% gun damage, and we have an Assault Rifle critical hit damage roll there. On critical hit, you'll see that we're also increasing this ring's effectiveness. So hit your crits, and I mean that stacks really well with the Perceiver there. And here we have a Promise Ring when your action skill is ready, which it always is with this build, as we are using ambidextrous. So at no point will you need to worry about your action skill being down. So we have that boosted 33% on the ring there. And you'll see this one's a spell damage ring, pretty great one too. Volatile, 19.7% spell damage, increased spell radius, and SMG critical hit damage. So and we've got the additional boosts for our ARs, and we've got the additional boost for our SMGs, and just critical hit and gun damage in general. Looking real good for how the way all of this stuff stacks up. Now the next part of the big trick here, we have the last gaps. You want to be running with your shield down and life full at all times with this build if you can manage it. That is because our enchantment here is giving you additional 25% gun damage and 25% critical hit damage while the life is full. And while your shield is down, we are doing 25% fire rate, 20% reload speed, and regenerating ammo. And then you'll see that it's got the ward regeneration rate on there. You don't have to worry about that because we are over in skills running glass cannon without mage armor. So once your shield goes down, it will stay down until you get knocked down and come back up. Now here we have the Cape of Tides. That is the armor that we're going with. You see we got an absolutely fantastic one here. We've got high thread count and a whole bunch of reload speed on it. And we also got all damage, even more fire rate, and gun damage. So perfect for John Wick, doing tons and tons of gun damage and then boosting all damage. Over here in the spells, in the left hand, we have a triple ice spike. We're kind of foaming that in for throwing knives here, as we don't have a knife throwing spell yet, but if they add one to the game, we will definitely jump on using that thing. And then a burgeoning Buffmeister here in Dark Magic, just so that we can get a little bit of life gain going on. And that Dark Magic damage, over here, we will use a little bit of Dark Magic efficiency, a little bit of all damage dealt. We've got the frost damage and the Spellshot power right here. And you'll see that when your life gets low, you will summon a Skeep, and that thing floats around, actually filling your life back up, which will help you to have your shield ability here, the enchant, triggered at all times. Moving over to the skills. Over here you'll see again we are a Sporewarden Spellshot, and we are focused on ambidextrous. But over here on the Sporewarden side, we have left the doggo a little bit weak. You don't want to kill John Wick's doggo, but guess what? Sometimes it happens, folks, and that's when we go crazy. We have Eagle Eye 5 points. We've spent into Bullseye for additional gun critical hit chance and damage, I believe it is there. So no, just gun critical hit chance. We have extra speed here. Your doggo can resurrect you, and our ammo regen here. So that's the second part of our ammo regen. And the third part of the ammo regen is here, Warcaster. You'll see that we have 2 points here, and that will give you easily over a 30% chance to refill your ammo in your gun anytime you get a kill. And so this triggers quite often. Through the rest of the skills here, you see we've got Spell Sniper, do some extra spell critical hit chance there. Points into magic bullets, because you always want points into magic bullets. And then we had 1 here for reload, 4 coming off the class mod. Tons of extra fire rate here. This is going to keep amping up for every stack of spell weaving, which is our class ability here on the Spellshot side. Of course, Doggo Mushroom on the other side here being the class ability. Glass Cannon, increasing the spell damage, which is going to increase our bullet damage there. Points into Imbued Weapon for extra damage. Double Knot, again, bonus gun damage here whenever we are getting a critical hit with a spell, which we will be getting pretty fairly often with what we're doing with all of our additional crits, and with the points here into Spell Sniper. Points here into Warcaster, already explained those. Then we've got the 1 slot 1 kill for additional gun damage there, Double Knot mentioned, and of course when we're hitting critical hits, which we will be hitting all the time, we get both of our spells back. So pretty much infinite spells, infinite ammunition. Here comes John Wick, legendary assassin. Taking a quick look here at the hero points as well. 48, 20, 30, 40 out of 40 here, 20, and 22 out of 42. Now this is just so that we can make sure that we can leech as much life as possible from enemies, as we really don't have many places that we'll be pulling life leech from otherwise. And of course, the critical hit damage here. So that is it for the John Wick build, folks. I hope you have a ton of fun with this build, where you can just run around shooting as wildly, as crazy as you want. Don't forget to check out the mobbing part of the video. It'll give you a great demonstration of how the Wizard's Pipe and a few of the other little mechanics can work for this build. So until then, thanks for checking it out. Please like, comment, subscribe. We are getting so close to 1,000, folks. I cannot wait. And until the next time, happy gaming. So there's one more way that the ammo is infinite on this build. I just want to demonstrate it here and explain it. As you can see, if you get your spell weaving stacks up high enough, you can increase your fire rate to the point where you can in fact empty some of the clips on the guns, kind of no matter how big the clips seem to be. As you can see, there we go, we've done it. So now you reload. And that does mean that eventually you could run out of ammunition, right? Well, also on the build, at any point you can switch over to any of the guns of the Skulldugger variety, and you'll find you can regen your ammo right back up to full. John Wick, folks.
Try to kill me when I fought back. I cracked the skulls with a baseball bat. But justice will never make